It's beginning to feel a lot like happily ever after. Take a look at the magic around and take a look at the miracles inside. We no longer need to fear or hide. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. And we know we have just begun, and the healing journey is now. And the magic within us is so profound. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. And there is no confining restraints. The healing in us can't be tamed. And we know the best is yet to come. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. And I know that these healing moments are the way we reclaim our power to write our story each and every hour. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. And we shed the fear inside. There's no more need to hide. And we know the best is yet to come. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. And we love being many persons. We love this magical life. And we release the need to focus on pain or strife. Kingsley. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. And we have many persons within, and we're allowed to have such a cheeky grin. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. The sun is shining now, and the clouds are moving past. And these moments come and go so sweetly fast. It's beginning to look a lot like happily ever after. And the years of pain we faced are healed through our loving grace. And every moment of our relentless courage is creating these moments of happily ever afters, where we get to breathe and breathe and rejoice in the healing sound of this freedom that feels so profound. And know that we are not defined by our experience. Using the melody of a song that our unconscious, subconscious is familiar with because of chronic repetition over the years, like A Christmas Carol, and then consciously choosing new words for it is one of the most powerful ways that we connect with our parts. Because it connects all the 4 main brain regions that can often become disconnected during dissociative experiences of consciousness, from what we've noticed anyway. It connects the forebrain, the cerebrum, with conscious thought as the words are chosen. Like that whole song we just made up. Like we were just singing. We weren't singing from something we'd made up before. We were just singing. So the forebrain, the cerebrum. I get it mixed up. They both start with C. Cerebrum, the forebrain, is the part choosing the conscious thought. And then that connects with the hindbrain, which has the unconscious memory of a familiar melody. So the tune was coming from back here, but the words were coming from up here. And that was connecting the mind and the body that often become disconnected for us. And then very similarly, the melody of singing was coming in working in our right brain. And the choice of thought, or the choice of words, was, we got a notification on our phone to do our physical therapy exercise. So the melody is coming from our right brain hemisphere, and then the words being chosen were coming from our left brain hemisphere, and those regions can often become separated within their connectivity of consciousness during dissociative experiences of consciousness. And so singing sporadically with a familiar melody but brand new words that somehow relate to our life personally, bring us deeper into the present moment. It can really help connect the brain regions that tend to not have automated connection for us living with chronic dissociation. Connects all the different parts, because parts holding past memories are going to be in a different crevice of the consciousness than parts creating new memories. And parts holding melody and music and rhythm are going to be in a separate part of the consciousness than parts with words, non-musical words. And so connecting them in that way is very powerful. And one of our lessons recently has been that you don't need to wait for the story's ending to have your happily ever after. That's been one of our profound lessons this week, or this past week, I should say. Yeah, this week, it's Saturday. Soul Self Saturday. Keep forgetting where I am in time and space. That's okay. Yeah, we don't need to wait for the story's ending to have our happily ever after. Happily ever after exists in the moments where there's beauty or peace or joy or satisfaction or connectivity or healing or just breathing a little deeper. And so we're trying to create happily ever afters in every day. Because that's really what we were after, like all of the choices that were made, all of the ways we responded to ourselves internally and life externally, it was all just seeking a happily ever after. That's all it was. And to learn that we can have moments of happily ever after in our everyday life. It's so transformative and so healing and so rejuvenating. Like, life doesn't have to be this chore, like drab,
mundane, depressing existence. Mundane chores might exist in the experience, but they are not the entirety of experience. And the more we can focus on the magic, the more we can focus on the beauty, the more that we the more that we can create tender healing moments for ourselves, the more we create our own happily ever afters. And the more that we create happily ever afters for ourselves, the less dependent we are on life to give us that. I don't need life to hand me a happily ever after anymore. I don't need life to hand me a happily ever after anymore. I create happily ever afters for myself and myselves.